1. Welcome to tonight's stream. How you doing? Today at the Euros, brought to you by the Football Fan Show. I'm Danny Harrington. I am the host and presenter of this channel. How are you doing today? We have got a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack today, and a game that I didn't even watch, and we're going to talk about it, which is the Russia-Finland match, which I did not watch. I fell asleep, so I did not watch it. But I've watched every other game, so it'll be interesting to learn about the Russia-Finland match. Which of course ended 1-0. We of course got a poll on tonight on our Twitter page. All you got to do is go to that at, well, you can see it on the screen now, at TFFS Live, TFFS Live. Go vote on our game of the day, on your game of the day. What was your game of the day? Was it Finland 0, Russia 1? Was it Turkey 0, Wales 2? Or was it Italy 3? Switzerland 0. I get the feeling today it's going to be a close one because 52.9% of you have gone for Italy, Switzerland, which finished 3-0, of course. Turkey and Wales have 47.1%. No one going for Finland and Russia. How surprising. Yeah, you've got about 15 minutes to go vote on that one. It obviously shuts before the poll closes before the end of our broadcast tonight. It won't be an hour long tonight. It will just be 50 minutes. So, yes, Italy are through. They're the first team through to the last 16 of the European Championships. They're the first team to qualify. We'll go through all of the games plus other news from the world of football. And in fact, we're going to start with that. We're going to start with non-European Championship news. And that's what we're going to start with. And the news that we're getting is that Sergio Ramos is leaving Real Madrid after 16 years. I think we've had enough of the Scotland goalkeeper. I think we're going to get rid of that joke for now. We're going to get rid of that joke. And we're going to replace it with hopefully. You know what? We're going to replace him. We're going to replace it with this picture, which I'll just get for you now. We're going to replace the Scottish goalkeeper with my favourite image of the tournament thus far. He's done it again. We're going to replace it with this one. This lovely, lovely image. Yes. Oh, look at me. I've been sniffing my ass and I've been putting my fingers down my ass crack again, and I'm now going to smell the results. Yes, caught sniffing his why does he? Can some journalist please ask me why Joachim Low, the German manager, keeps sniffing his fingers, especially when he likes to put them down his pants, whether he's scratching his balls, scratching his ass, or better yet, he put his finger up his nose, picked it and ate it, which is, I think, something that most people don't like to admit to doing. I wouldn't do such a thing. Yeah, Sergio Ramos is set to leave Real Madrid after the club announced a farewell news conference for their long-term captain on Thursday. He's won 5 La Liga titles, 4 Champions League in a glittering Real career after joining his boyhood club from Sevilla in 2005. That is, I think, the only piece of non-Euro 2020 news. Oh, Rafa Benitez might be Everton manager, but that's just pure speculation at this point. Right, let's get on with the Euros, because no one wants to talk about Sergio Ramos. And we'll get to the weird news, the offbeat news, and why this guy keeps wanting to shove his fingers in every orifice in his body and then sniff it. Can some journalist please ask him that question? I don't care what analysis pundits have at this European Championships. All I want to know, the most important question, why the heck does the German head coach put his fingers down his pants and then sniff his fingers? This is the only question I want answered. It is the only question I want answered. I don't care about the rest of the tournament. I just want that one question answered. I want to know why Joachim Low keeps putting his fingers in every orifice of his body and then sniffing it. It's the only question, and I think a lot of football fans will agree with me. It's the only question we want answered. So, let's start with... now that all jokes aside, I'm going to sniff as... How does he do it? Hang on, I'm looking at the picture. I'm getting a hint of rhubarb. And daisies. Oh, it smells like my hand cream. That's what I... Yeah, it smells like my... Yeah. Oh, what is that delightful smell coming from my asshole? It's original sauce. Yes, mint. Original sauce mint, yeah. Very good. That sounds less German, doesn't it? And more into a racist territory there. Yeah. The original sauce. Yeah, it makes my balls tingly. Yeah. That's why I use original sauce. That is why. You see me scratch my balls a lot because it makes my balls feel tingly. I like it. Now we figured it out. Now we figured out why Joachim Low likes to sniff his balls. Well, likes to sniff his fingers after touching his bollocks. You know what? Crack yourself up. Right, let's get into it. Let's get into it and talk about these games. Let's talk about the one I didn't watch, which was Russia and Finland. I fell asleep during this one. I completely forgot it was on, to be honest. See, that's what happens when you have a day without 2 o'clock football. You forget that the 2 o'clock games resume. So, Russia have got their first win of Euro 2020 on home turf as well in St. Petersburg, with a hard-fought victory against Finland in St. Petersburg. Alexei Miranchuk put the hosts ahead in first half injury time with a fine curling finish despite being surrounded by defenders. Finland would have qualified for the last 16 with a win and thought they had opened the scoring, but their headed goal was disallowed. It was ruled offside. Yeah, Joachim agrees. The result leaves both sides on 3 points before their final Group B matches on Monday. Finland, competing in their first major finals, of course, beat Denmark by a goal to nil on Saturday. Before Wednesday's game, all the Finnish squad wore T-shirts saying "Get well, Christian." And yeah, so Finland had a goal disallowed, and in fact the same player, Pojan Paulo. I'm proud of myself for that one. I hope I've got that one right. I'm proud of myself. Pojan Paulo, whose goal was disallowed for Finland. He scored the only goal for Finland's opener and thought he had scored his second goal of the tournament against Russia. But the headed effort was, of course, ruled offside, and then it was met with Russia's goal 3 minutes later. However, the video assistant referee ruled that he was just marginally offside. I hate that. And I believe they're making the lines bigger now for next season, so you don't have to have a toenail or a fingernail offside. It is quite ridiculous. It is quite ridiculous. But the hosts deserved the goal, apparently, and surrounded by 4 visiting defenders, managed to shift the ball on his left. This is Miranchuk onto his left foot and curl past the Finnish keeper, who, by the way, I watched the later stages of that game. Looked like he was having a good game as well. Teemu Pukki had a rare chance for Finland in the second half, but could only shoot tamely at the Russian goalkeeper. And I'm just going to admit it now, Teemu Pukki's just not a very good player. He's a very good championship player. We've said this on this channel before. Teemu Pukki is a very good championship player. Put him in the Premier League, he's freaking useless. Because he's not quality. He's not quality. It means I got my prediction wrong. I thought Finland might edge out Russia for a 1-0 win. Makes the Denmark game very very interesting. Very interesting. Let's go to the second game of the day. We go from Group B to Group A, and it's Turkey who faced Wales. And Wales took a significant stride towards qualifying for the second round of the Euros, as they overcame Turkey after a gripping encounter in Azerbaijan in Baku. And by the way, this was very much a home game for Turkey, because the amount of Turkish fans, or the amount of Azerbaijani or Baku natives that went on to support Turkey in this match, it felt like a home. It was a home game. It was a home game. It was a home game for Turkey in Azerbaijan. The crowd of 30,000 in Azerbaijan's capital, effectively making it a home game for Turkey. Wales responded to the hostile atmosphere, and it was bloody hostile, I'll tell you that, with a vibrant attacking display in which they cut their opponents open at will. They had a plethora of chances. It was quite good to watch. After a host of missed chances in a breathless first half, Gareth Bale played a brilliant lofted pass through the heart of the Turkish defence for Aaron Ramsey, who brought the ball down and finished elegantly. Good goal for Aaron Ramsey. Go check out the highlights if you haven't seen it already. And although Turkey came back strong and Wales squandered a glorious opportunity to consolidate their lead, when Gareth Bale, if you have not watched this penalty, it is one of the worst penalties I've ever seen him take. Actually, no, I think it's the worst penalty. No, it is the worst penalty I've ever seen him take. It is the worst penalty I've ever seen Gareth Bale take. It was awful. It was an awful penalty, and yeah, it was bad. It's very bad, and yeah, it was just not. It was not a good penalty in the slightest. So yeah. Go watch it, because it looks like Gareth Bale trading his football boots for rugby boots, because he launched it. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't even have scored a point in rugby, because he didn't even get it over the crossbar. It went wide of the goal, so it wouldn't even have got points in rugby union. That's how high over the crossbar it went. It means that I think he's not scored in 13 now for Wales. He hasn't scored in 13 games, and then, so after missing that penalty, which he should have scored, he did not look confident ahead of that penalty. Let's be clear, he did not look at all confident ahead of that penalty, Gareth Bale. But with that penalty missed, there were some nervous moments, shall we say, for the Welsh defence as they withstood Turkish attacks, with Danny Ward making a vital late save to deny Demiral and Connor, but right at the end, there actually, to be fair, before the goal, there was a bit of an argy-bargy between the Turkish players and between the Turkish captain and two of the Welsh players, because it looked like he slapped him in the face. One of the players is down. One of the Welsh players is down. The Turkish captain appears to slap him in the face, and then the Turkish captain gets shoved by one of the Welsh players, and deservedly so, it looks like, because it looks like he just goes to him like that. Which, yeah, okay. I get it, but don't do it. But Connor Roberts struck from a corner deep in injury time to seal a win that takes Wales to 4 points with one match left to go. I think Gareth Bale thought he scored it, because he went off celebrating in one direction and Roberts went off in the other direction. But, you know, I don't know why Gareth Bale was celebrating. Did he take the corner? Am I missing that? I'm probably missing that. I'm sounding like an idiot then. The final fixture in Rome is Saturday's Group A match against favourites Italy, who are already through to last 16. And having drawn 1-1 with Switzerland, 4 points, not bad at all. Wales were passive, often disjointed in that opening game against Switzerland, but today, Bale and Ramsey, anonymous against the Swiss, and they really were. Bale I think he only had one touch of the ball against Switzerland. Were heavily involved right from the start. He was in the box, but Gareth Bale in the Turkish penalty area more times than he got touches of the ball in that Swiss game. It was good, but he needs to score. I think now it's the big thing for Gareth Bale is that if he doesn't score, the less confident he'll be, and he needs to score. He needs to score for confidence sake. So yes, Wales getting a 2-0 win against Turkey in a very good performance, and just when I thought that that the Welsh were just going to change their national anthem just to say from Land of My Fathers to to potentially a new anthem called At Least We're Not As Bad As Scotland, but Wales getting a 2-0 win against Turkey. At least they got the win. And then the game of the evening, of course, which is the one that has just finished, which saw Italy go through to the last 16, and they're the first team at the Euros to do so. So congratulations, Forza Italia. They took on Switzerland and won as well. So well done to them. Roberto Mancini's side, who thumped Turkey in the opening game by 3-0, have made it back-to-back 3-0 wins. And as I've said, this is an Italian team that likes to press. It's bizarre to watch, but I love it. I love every little bit of it. I am here for it. I'm here for all Italian pressing teams, as long as they don't play bloody defensive football. And they haven't under Roberto Mancini. He's done a fantastic job. He's done a fantastic job thus far. And after they thumped Turkey 3-0, they've won 3-0 again against Switzerland. And the Sassuolo midfielder Manuel Locatelli scored twice. First by finishing off a move he started by tapping in from Berardi's darting run and cut back. And then Italy's passing and pressing was far superior to their opponents. I will say, though, that in the second half, right at the beginning of the second half, pretty much every Italian player had a Swiss player to go alongside them. Buy one, get one free. Buy one Italian player, get a Swiss player free. But as I say, Italy's passing and pressing was far superior to their opponents, and Locatelli's fizzling strike from the edge of the area underlined their control of this game. And by the way, they just dominated. And didn't I say yesterday it was gonna, what was it, 2-1, 3-1? I thought, because Switzerland were gonna put 11 men behind the ball. I mean, they really couldn't. They couldn't. Italy just had way too much quality, which is exactly what I thought would happen. But I thought Switzerland might just get the odd long ball on the counter-attack that might just get a goal, but they didn't get anything, which was surprising to me because I thought they'd catch them out. Chiellini looks like he's picked up a bit of a knock, so let's hope that may have pulled a muscle. So let's hope that he is fully fit for the rest of the tournament. Italy's passing and pressing far superior to their opponent. Striker Ciro Immobile's long-range drive, which squirmed under the goalkeeper and completed a comprehensive victory late on. Switzerland barely threatened an Italian back line that has now gone 10 games without conceding in all competitions. A run approaching 1,000 minutes of football. For nearly 1,000 minutes, Italy haven't conceded a goal. Are they, the world champions? The world champions, France, were the favourites. But you know what? Maybe Italy could be people's dark horses after their performances in their first two games. I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It was Turkey and Switzerland who are by far no competition for the Italians. The Italians are superior in every way, and Wales will also suffer the wrath of the Italian press. I love watching Italy press. I love it. I'm so used to Italy. I'm going to rave about them for the whole tournament now, because I'm just so used to them taking the lead 1-0 and then going, we've taken the lead, we've got superior defenders, we can just hold on to our 1-goal lead and that'll be enough for us. And 9 times out of 10 that's what happens. They hold on to their lead. Unlike England, as I've compared the Italian way to the English way, the England way of going 1-0 up and then sitting back and then often conceding, winning maybe 2 or 3 out of 10. But and by the way, if you're watching in the chat, please answer me the most important question of the day. Forget the poll about your game of the day. Tell me what the heck he's sniffing in this picture. Well, he's obviously sniffing his fingers, but where has he been sticking them? That's what I want to know. And I really want somebody to ask that question. That is the most important question of the entire European Championships. It's not about whether Cristiano Ronaldo drinks Coca-Cola. By the way, it's in a Coca-Cola glass, but Pepsi, which is what Lionel Messi sponsors. And whether it's Pogba refusing to drink Heineken because he took the Heineken bottle off the stand. So, if that's what, those are not the important questions. The important question is, why the heck does this guy keep sniffing his fingers after shoving them down his trousers? That is what I want to know. These are the most important questions. You see, I only ever think of the important questions on this program, on this channel. And that's what I want to know. I just want to know why Joachim Low, Jurgi, keeps shoving his fingers in every orifice and smells them. So, what I want to know is Italy, are Italy your tournament favourites? Are we getting ahead of ourselves now? Because they've beaten 2 relatively easy teams to beat and they've absolutely spanked them. I just love the Italian press. It's just fantastic. The way they press the ball. It's the best football Italy have played, I think, maybe ever. Because they just don't do it. They're just very defensive. Not anti-football, not like a short... Well, I did compare them to a Sean Dyche Burnley or a Crystal Palace side led by Roy Hodgson. But times are a-changing for Italy, and Roberto Mancini... Well, fantastic job. Fantastic job for Roberto Mancini. DVA_mechanics. How you doing? What are you up to tonight? Did you enjoy the games tonight on our Twitch chat? And what do you think this guy's doing? Oh, wrong way. That guy. What do you think he's doing? That was against France. I love it when he's those kind of images. You can still vote on our poll, by the way, for your game of the day. 5.3% of you have gone for Finland 0, Russia 1. And currently there's a tie for your game of the day. 47.4% of you have voted for Turkey 0, Wales 2, and Italy 3, Switzerland 1. So if it is a tie, I get the deciding vote, and I'm just going to tell you now, it's going to Italy. It's going to Italy, because I just love it. It's fantastic. Fantastic performance. Just love the way the Italians are playing. I shouldn't, but I do. I love it. And they're the first team through to the last 16. Right, let's cover some of the other European Championship news. We've already talked about Sergio Ramos, who's leaving. So, here we go. Let's cover some of the other Euro news. And Austria forward Marko Arnautovic has been suspended by UEFA for 1 match after being found guilty of insulting another player. I believe the accusation was racist... the accusation was a racist gesture against some two North Macedonian players. Macedonian? That's a combination of Albania and Macedonia. North Macedonia. I don't want to piss off the Greeks. He was accused of making a racist gesture towards, or saying some unkind things to 2 North Macedonian players who are of Albanian heritage. He is, of course, of Serbian heritage, and the Serbs pretty much don't like anyone that are considered their neighbours. They don't like the Albanians. They don't recognise Kosovo as a country. They certainly don't like the North Macedonians. Probably don't like I know that for a fact they don't like the Bosnians, hence the 1990s. So yeah, I just don't think the Serbs like anybody that isn't Serbian. Just going to put that out there. Just feels like it. Just from everything they've ever done. Arnautovic responded after the match, of course, by saying he is not a racist. The 32-year-old has been found guilty of misconduct, but with UEFA not considering his actions to be discriminatory. Arnautovic, who was born in Austria, has a Serbian Father apologised for his goal celebration in an Instagram post. So UEFA are obviously investigating it and didn't find it discriminatory. It's a tough one to call. I think if he, we've already got a Czech player that's banned for the entire tournament. Well, they're banned for 10 games, so they aren't a part of the tournament because they were found guilty. I believe that's the same player that was found guilty of racist abuse against Rangers in the Europa League for Slavia Prague. That is not in that Czech Republic squad. So, if Arnautovic, if it was racist, kick him out of the tournament. This is rather lenient. But if it's something like sledging, which is a term used in cricket, and where it's seen as banter, then maybe it can be slid under the rug. Personally, I don't even like sledging because I've heard some of the things the Australian and English players say to each other in the cricket. I don't even like that. I think that should be banned. But don't. They call each other, you see you next Tuesday and stuff like that, and I'm just like, what? This is cricket. Stop saying that, you bloody idiots. But then, that's how the game's played, I guess. Not a game of gentlemen. So yes, he's banned for one game. Is that really going to affect Austria that much? I don't know. I have no idea. We'll look ahead to tomorrow's games in a bit. And now we have to look at the investigation here, and I'm gonna watch a video of this, because the important question now is, Paul Pogba helps France to a winning start, but did Antonio Rudiger take a bite? Did he channel Luis Suarez in this? So I'm gonna watch the video now because I want to see it. I want to see this. I'm watching it now. I'm watching it back, and so he goes in. He's got his head. Yeah, he bites him. He bites him. He totally bites him. So he puts his head against his shoulders like this, and then he goes. He bites him. I mean, Pogba reacts at the wrong time. It's already happened by the time Pogba reacts, so. It is no. He should have been. I mean, it's biting against. I suppose it is against the rules. Are there rules against biting your opponent? I suppose it's not within the spirit of the game. Although then again, Luis Suarez isn't within the spirit of the game, but he's still allowed to play it. So. I suppose like retroactively they could do something about it, but clearly, he did bite him. He goes for a little bit of a nibble. Clearly, he was hungry. Not Hungarian, but clearly he was wanting a bit of a snack at halftime. But yeah, he bites him. He bites him there. And if you thought in offbeat news that you thought that Cristiano Ronaldo wiping $4 billion off the price of Coca-Cola on Monday was bad, maybe spare a thought for Heineken today, the latest big brand to have a bottle removed from the press conference table at Euro 2020, as Paul Pogba removed a bottle of is that Heineken Blue? So that's the non-alcoholic brand, right? I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to get a close up. It's Heineken Blue. It's a non-alcoholic version of the drink, but it's still got Heineken on it, obviously, which is a well-known alcoholic brand. But the player of the match award is sponsored by Heineken. So star of the match, as it's called, star of the match. The day after, obviously, Ronaldo made headlines by removing $4 billion off the share price of Coca-Cola at a news conference and said to drink water in Portuguese. Pogba's gone viral by removing a bottle of Heineken beer. The 28-year-old, who is a practicing Muslim, made no comment on the matter, just discreetly moved the non-alcoholic beer, I told you it was Heineken Blue, and placed it below the table during a post-match presser. I mean, who cares? It's a drink, really. Why is this news? This isn't news. Who cares? And finally, UEFA has contacted the French Football Federation to find out why France's Benjamin Pavard carried on playing against Germany in their Euro 2020 match, despite losing consciousness briefly. The Bayern Munich defender, who collided with Germany's Robin Gosens, is in the second half of France's 1-0 win. Pavard said, "I took a hell of a shock. I was a little knocked out for 10 to 15 seconds. After that, it was better." UEFA wants to know what happened and whether the correct protocols were followed. Prior to Euro 2020, all teams, including doctors, agreed to a concussions charter stating, and I quote here, "We confirm that if a player of our team is suspected of having suffered a concussion, he will be immediately removed from the pitch, whether in training or on match play." Global Players Union FIFPro said it was in touch with the UEFA to find out why the concussion charter was not applied in this incident. And with everything that's happened already at the Euros, probably would have been safer to bring him off. All right, let's look ahead to tomorrow's matches then, and we start with the earlier game, the 2 o'clock kickoff in Group C, and we'll bring you some team news from this one. It's Ukraine versus North Macedonia at 2 o'clock in this game, and Ukraine could be missing winger Alexander Zubkov after he suffered a foot injury and had to be substituted in their defeat against the Netherlands. The Brazilian-born Marlos or Victor can't even say the Ukrainian name. I'm not even going to bother. Victor Tishanikov, let's go with that one. Could replace, sorry, I'm just bad with names. Could replace Zubkov for the match in Bucharest between the two teams, who are yet to win a point at Euro 2020. North Macedonia, who of course lost 3-1 to Austria, have no fresh injury worries, with their players all fully fit. Both Alexander Trzaskowski and Leeds United Egan Ilowiecki, I'm going with that, were both booked in the first half, so they're both one caution away from having a one-match suspension. The head-to-head record looks like this. Ukraine have beaten North Macedonia in both competitive encounters prior to this match, 1-0 at home and a 2-0 win away in Euro 2016 qualifiers. Ukraine and North Macedonia's 4 previous meetings have only produced 4 goals, 3 for Ukraine, 1 for North Macedonia. Ukraine have lost each of their past 6 matches at the European Championships, the joint longest run in the competition's history, alongside the now departed Yugoslavia. All 4 of Ukraine's goals at the European Championship have been scored in the second half, attempting 37 efforts at goal without success in first half of matches. They are also the only nation to play at least 5 matches at the tournament and not score in the first half of a match. North Macedonia suffered defeat in their first ever match at the European Championship, losing 3-1 to Austria. The last nation to lose their first 2 matches was Albania in 2016. And considering their relative neighbours and the close proximity of their peoples, might be one they wish to avoid. Might wish to have the bragging rights for North Macedonia. The legendary North Macedonian player Goran Pandev, who scored 20 more goals than any other North Macedonian player in history, 38 by the way, netted his first international goal on August 21st, 2002 against Malta in a friendly, 11 days before Ukraine's centre-half Ilya Zabani, let's go with that, I'm shit at names, sue me, please don't, I don't have a lot of money, was born the 1st of September 2002. Apart from me being shit at names and butchering everything, just bear with me. Then the 5 o'clock kickoff. We'll see the return of Denmark to the field. Obviously, fantastic news about Christian Eriksen. He's safe, well, still in hospitals. There's still a few more tests, but he's been making statements and contacting his teammates at Inter Milan and the Danish team. He's been talking to them, and it's very good news from Christian Eriksen's camp as well. But Denmark returning to the field tomorrow. Danish fans are planning a 10th minute applause and a show of support for Christian Eriksen in that match. So if you watch the game and hear a rapturous applause around the 10th minute, that is why they are doing it. Denmark will face a tough task against the world number 1 team, Belgium, who beat Russia 3-0 in their Group B opener. The Belgians are also able to welcome back playmaker Kevin De Bruyne, who was, of course, injured in that Champions League final, in Man City's Champions League final defeat to Chelsea. The Manchester City midfielder suffered a double facial fracture in that Champions League final and has now been declared medically fit. Let's give you some facts of the game. Denmark have missed 3 of their last 4 penalties in major competitions, World Cup and Euros, having scored the previous 5 between 1984 and 1998. Belgium have won 4 of their last 5 matches at the Euros, as many as they had won across their first 13 games in the competition, winning 4, drawing 2, losing 7. Belgium have won 7 matches under Roberto Martinez at the European Championships and World Cup finals combined. Only Guy Thys, who's won 8, has recorded more such wins with the Red Devils. No, he's not managing Manchester United. It'll be weird for Everton fans if Belgium go on to win it, because you've got 2 ex-Everton managers managing Barcelona and Real Madrid next season. El Evertono next season instead of El Clasico. El Evertono returning. And then Roberto Martinez, if he wins the Euros. I mean, the common denominator is that they're not all 3 shit managers. It's just Everton are shit. That's the common denominator as to why all 3 of them... Well, to be fair, the Barcelona boss is not particularly talented in terms of management. No, absolutely not. So those are tomorrow's games. I suppose I'll bring you, in other football news, non-Euro related news. I did hint at this earlier. Rafa Benitez appreciation card rescinded by Liverpool Football Club, because Rafa Benitez is understood to be is in a prime position to be offered the next managerial role at Everton after a 3rd round of talks with the club's hierarchy. He did describe them once as a small club. I get the feeling this is going to be like that time Alex McLeish managed Aston Villa when he had been, he was an ex Birmingham City boss who had won the League Cup with them. He'd won a trophy at Birmingham, which is a big no-no for Aston Villa. It's a big no-no. So that is, I don't know. I don't know whether Rafa Benitez will take that job, or we'll have to wait and see. And we've got the opening games of the Premier League next season. So, without further ado, Brentford versus Arsenal, Burnley versus Brighton, Chelsea versus Palace, Everton versus Southampton, Leicester City versus Wolves, Manchester United versus Leeds in the Battle of the Roses, the War of the Roses, Newcastle United versus West Ham United, Norwich City versus Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur versus Man City, and Watford versus Aston Villa. Liverpool need Luis Suarez because he always used to love scoring against Norwich. So that is your European Championship football news for today. I'm afraid I'm not going the full hour today because I've got to be up very early. I've got a course tomorrow. There is 11 minutes left to go in our poll. If you wish to go and vote for your game of the day, please go do so. Currently, Finland 0, Russia 1, having 5% of the vote. 5% of you thinking it's your game of the day. Currently, with 50% of the vote, it's Turkey 0, Wales 2 is your game of the day. And then with 45% of the vote, it's Italy 3, Switzerland 0. Who am I to say that you've got it wrong? You have got it wrong, but it's not a conclusive result yet. And of course, we need to know exactly what this guy has been sniffing. So, with that said, we have tomorrow's games. We've got team news in for tomorrow. What did you think of the Wales game earlier? Because I thought they did. I don't know. I didn't rate them as highly as I thought. I thought they'd do a little bit better against Turkey, but they didn't. Well, they won 2-0. I think Wales is. I think Gareth Bale needs to really work on taking his penalties. It was pathetic. That was a pathetic penalty. We can't watch it back, but you understand me. It was a very bad penalty. Very bad penalty miss. Elsewhere, the Granit Xhaka, Arsenal's Granit Xhaka, has been chatting to the media. Lewandowski _23. They did okay. Yeah, I think Wales did okay. As your name is Lewandowski, can you please explain to me what the fuck is this guy sniffing? And anything, I'll put it on TikTok. I'll put a picture of him. Any punchlines you can come up with. We've already said he uses original sauce because he has minty fresh balls that he just likes to scratch and then go, yeah, I'm still minty fresh, yeah. I don't know why that's my go-to German, but that's the poll I really want to ask. I don't care about your game of the day. I want to ask you, do you think Joachim Low has minty fresh balls? That's the question. See, just childish now. Just childish. It's descended into anarchy. Anarchy. What else? What else do we think? He definitely uses original source. You know what? Can we get a picture of original source? Can we get a picture of the of original source? I think going back to the Welsh game, I think Robert Page has done a fantastic job. Washes them with soap. Hang on. Can we get a picture of original source mint? We're working on it. I think Robert Page, the Wales manager, has done a fantastic job in this campaign. And sorry, I'm trying to get the original source mint. Can we get a PNG of it? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. There we go. Come on. No. We want to save the image. We don't want to save it as a web file. Why does it always do this? It always does this. I have no idea why. It always saves it as a fucking web file. Why does it do that? So stupid. So stupid. Does Joachim Low have minty fresh balls? That is the type of question we're going to ask. In fact, we're going to make it a thing on our Twitter channel at TFFS Live. If you want to go follow us there, we are going to make it. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And yes, I am going to ask the question, does Joachim Low have minty fresh balls? Because he's always sniffing his balls, or he's always sniffing his fingers after sticking it in every orifice, and I want to know why. I just want to know. I want to know. There we go. Original source. That's Joachim Low is brought to you by Original Source. Mint. I know it does. Can I just speak from personal experience? This stuff burns. It does. Well, I say that. I get a. We're talking about this. It's I get a tingling sensation. But then again, I don't put my fingers down with my pants and then go, still minty fresh, yeah. Oh, how does my asshole smell? Oh no. I did not wipe properly. That's just a speculation. Just somebody asking. Back to the European Championships then. And let's have a look at who is the top goal scorer. Let's have a look at some of the Euro 2020 stats then, and have a look at the top goal scorer for the tournament thus far. Obviously, Italy are the first team to get through to the last 16. At the moment, the top goal scorers are, of course, Italy. They've scored 6, 3-0 wins will do that. 75% possession for Spain in their game, and they still didn't bloody win it. Passing accuracy of 90% for both the Dutch and the Belgians, and Italy have had the most attempts on goal at 37, with Switzerland producing 31 tackles in overall. But the top goal scorer is Immobile for Italy. He's got 2. So is Lukaku, so is Ronaldo, so is Schick for Czech Republic. I'm calling that goal from his goal from the halfway line. I'm calling that goal of the tournament already. I'm supremely confident that goal against Scotland will be goal of the tournament. I should have kept the Scotland goalkeeper on, so at least it would look like he's running away from Joachim Low. Joachim Low, brought to you by Original Source. So who do we reckon will be the next team through? Let's have a look at the Group A table then, as we've only got a game to go, and all games now in the final of Group A will be played concurrently at the same time. So Italy currently top of the group with 6 points. Wales on 4 points, having beaten Turkey. Switzerland on a point, so I expect the Swiss to beat the Turks. I've kind of been disappointed by the Turks. I thought everyone was talking about them being dark horses to get through the group and to do pretty well, and they've very much disappointed. And Switzerland historically don't really get through group stages that often. And I don't know whether... Did Turkey beat Switzerland? Maybe? I'm not confident with that one. I'm not confident enough to make a prediction on that one. Let's see what Scotland have been talking about. Obviously, the big game. The big game is this Friday against the old enemy north of the Wall. If you ever wondered where the Wall came from in Game of Thrones, it's actually Hadrian's Wall, which is separated, which historically is the border of Scotland and England. Even though Hadrian's Wall is very much in England, because Scotland used to be a little bit bigger than it is now. Scotland will look to gain their own wee superstars to cause England a few problems at Wembley, says John McGinn. Steve Clark's side travels south for their Euro 2020 group game after Monday's defeat to the Czech Republic. And now I'm calling this now, and I said to somebody earlier, I'm going to call it now. If England win by less than 3-0, that to me will be a disappointing result. Because Scotland look like they've won a raffle prize to be here. They don't belong. That's the only downside, the only drawback of having an expanded Euros from 16 of the best teams in Europe to 24 is that you get mediocrity. And Scotland are mediocrity. Watch them win 1-0 and then I'll have to come on here and do an apology. I do want Scotland to do well. I just can't see them doing well, to be honest. The star-studded England side, who are among the tournament's favourites, obviously open 1-0 with a victory over Croatia. In fact, actually, I think Scotland could beat Croatia. Because I don't think Croatia have anything. But then neither do Scotland, so maybe it'll finish 0-0. England only score 1. I hope they don't do a Lewandowski. I hope they. I was talking about this earlier. I hope they don't do a typical England of going 1-0 up and then sitting back. Because you're not Italy. You can't do that. Because Italy, historically, always went forward, got a goal, sat back, because they had the best defenders. And they were used to playing defensive football. When England do it, they fall asleep and concede a sloppy goal. 9 times out of 10, it feels like. So I hope they don't do that. I hope they just play. They should play like the Italian team played tonight. Just press the fuck out of Scotland, and then you'll be in for a goal fest. But yeah, if they don't win 3-0, anything less than 3-0 would be, for me, a disappointment, because Scotland are the whipping boys of the group. They made so many mistakes. I know it's Southgate, but come on. He can't win 1-0 against Scotland. He's got to do more. We've got better. We're a million times better than Scotland. So McGinn said the English media would have you believe the gap between us is humongous. It is. It is. It's like the gap between the Scottish Premiership and the actual Premier League. You know, the Scottish Premiership probably is League One. If I'm comparing that to an English league, it's League One. With Celtic and Rangers being Championship quality teams. 5-3-2 will be the way he plays. No, I reckon he'll play 3 at the back. I think he'll go for a... Well, actually, no. 3 at the back, then the 2 wing backs to get the ball forward. So, yeah. Well, it'll be... Technically, it'll be a 3... What was it? A 3-2... A 3 at the back, 2 wing backs, maybe 2 players in the middle, an attacking midfielder, and 2 players up front. Or does he play 3 round them? Does he get a win? See, that's the debate. Does he play wingers? If he's going to play wing backs, get the ball. Yeah, 3-4-3. That's what I'm going to go with. That's. You know, because obviously he's gonna have Cade up front. Is he gonna play Grealish? I would argue no. I don't think Grealish starts against Scotland. I don't think Grealish is gonna play in the group. I don't think Jack Grealish is not gonna play a group stage match, which will continually piss off the England fans who want to watch Jack Grealish. But to be fair, the way Raheem Sterling played in the first game. You don't need Jack Grealish if you've got an on form. Raheem Sterling is probably England's best player jointly with Jack Grealish, in my opinion. You know what? I think he should just play a 0-0-10 and shove 10 players up front because Scotland have nothing. He should, or he should use the 10 million the 10 million right backs he's got in the squad. We never did that stream where I just filled the England squad with right backs. I will do that stream eventually. I'll get onto it. But obviously this is taking up a lot of my time. So yes, McGinn goes on to say that the English media would have you believe that there's a humongous gap between the two teams. I don't know why I'm talking like this, wee lad. But it's up to us to prove them wrong. You will not prove them wrong. Scotland have 0 chance of beating England. Mark my words, there is 0 chance. What? You don't like my wee Scottish accent? You should just... Obviously, I'm being sensationalist. That's why I'm getting the Muppet comments of saying, yeah, just play 10 players up front because, quite frankly, Scotland have nothing. And they really don't, in my opinion. They really don't. But obviously, I'm exaggerating for effect. Hence why I've just been called a Muppet. Deservedly so. But... Yeah, Scotland don't have anything. I expect Scotland to lose badly to England. I would be very surprised if Scotland got anything out of that match, although it would be very typically England to give Scotland something. And I hope if England score, they use the dentist chair celebration. I hope they've got that. Gazza would be proud. But yeah, I'm stating now, England, anything below 3-0 is disappointing for England. And I think, England should easily be winning that game. Right, the poll's closed, and it's a surprising result because, McGinn. Oh, you meant McGinn yeah, maybe. So, not much difference. Fair play. I'll take it on the chin. Hey, I got called an underrated YouTuber the other day, and I didn't even realise I was a YouTuber. Probably because I post these videos on YouTube afterwards where you can go watch them. We asked you to vote on your game of the day, and the poll has closed. 5% of you. Now, this is controversial because I think you've got it wrong, to be honest. So 5% of you have gone with Finland 0, Russia 1. As your game of the day. That 5% of you clearly love boredom. Maybe watch Big Brother. That is also a show that you might enjoy if you like being bored off your tits. 45% of you, I think you've got it right. Because only 45% of you have gone with Italy 3, Switzerland 0. And then 50% of you have gone with Turkey 0, Wales 2. Now, that game did have a lot of drama, so I can understand why you vote. I'd rather watch Italy. I'm sorry. I'd rather watch it. Although, to be fair, I will watch Gareth Bale miss penalties for days. That made me laugh so much. So much. He needs to go practice those. But yeah, I personally, I think the game of the day is Italy, Switzerland, but you voted for it. So, by the law of the land on today at the Euros, your game of the day is Turkey 0, Wales 2. So well done. You voted for it. Check out our Twitter page at TFFS Live for more polls. I'm currently going to write the next 3 for who you think will win tomorrow's games. So go check those out when you can. Will it be Ukraine or North Macedonia? Will it be Denmark or Belgium? Or will it be the Netherlands or Austria winning their respective matches? So go check us out there. The video, this is about to be streamed on YouTube as well as a replay, so go check that out. And lots of misses in the Wales game. I know. But it was a nervous 10 minutes or so. Oh, can I just... I completely forgot about this. UEFA, can you sort your fucking cameraman out? What the heck? What the hell was that in the Wales game? Suddenly, the feed goes, and then it comes back without the graphics or the commentary team. Then it goes to a panoramic shot of the stadium, and apparently this affected all broadcasters, not just the BBC. It affected all broadcasters internationally as the commentary team, even the international feed that the commentators use to watch the game. I know, why can't they just have binoculars and watch the game like that, or watch the gameplay in front of them? But they have an international TV feed in front of them so they can watch the game. It was so bad. The panoramic, when they cut to the panoramic view of the stadium and the game was still going on, it was like in the right hand end of the stadium, and you're just looking at by the way, the fans are a million miles away from that pitch. I know it's an athletic stadium, but learn a little from the London stadium where they actually move the fans closer. But yeah, it was bad. It was just bad. Can we sort that out in the future? Thank you very much. Right, this is going on YouTube. We will see you tomorrow from 10 o'clock for more. Go check out our polls on our Twitter page at TFFS Live. You can give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/The Football Fan Show. This is on twitch.tv/The Football Fan Show. Give us a follow. We're nearly there. We're nearly at 50. We need to get to 50. Advertising revenue dictates. Although, quite frankly, I've not read a Twitch affiliate agreement. I'm probably going to disagree with 95% of the things involved in it, so it doesn't matter. Lewandowski_23, goodbye, and we'll see you tomorrow from 10 o'clock. Have a great rest of your night, and by the way, don't cry for that shithouse Sergio Ramos. Good night.